How does this work? We good? We live? Yeah. And the sound, hopefully that's perfectly fine. I have no idea what I'm doing, so I think maybe the webcam is better than usual.
Ja.
No, pa? Sorry, okay. Sorry, Quintana.
Ja.
Oh, Jonde. Oh, cho. Okay. Hey guys. The format is a little bit different today. I am randomly traveling, having a little bit of vacation for the first time this year, I think. We are somewhere in the dark of Jutland, basically northern Germany. So today was also the first time I drove like a newer car. I'm so used to old shitty cars, and today we rented a Polestar 2, a newer electric car, and it has so many features that I'm not used to, and it's so uncomfortable for me that you don't have a key, you just have like a little thingy, a fob. It's not even a fob, I think. It is just a little brick, and you don't unlock the door or anything, you just have it on you, then you go up and open, and then magic, it works. That is fucking weird to me. Especially with my paranoia. So whenever I leave a locked door, I always double check. Like, oh, is it really locked? You cannot do that with this because then it just unlocks. So that messes with my paranoia. And then it has like lane assistance or whatever it's called. So I can turn it on so it tries to stay in the lane. I don't know if I'm a fan of the steering wheel moving on its own, and I don't know if I trust that system. But I love the adaptive cruise control. That is gold. That is so good. Yeah. That so all really nice. It has so many new features. I'm just used to old crappy cars. So to have something to talk about, I was thinking that I was gonna give my thoughts on the various games I've been playing recently and whether I would recommend people to buy them. And I think we're gonna start with Space Marine 2. Just gotta stay hydrated. So, Space Marine 2, is it worth buying? Should you spend your hard-earned €60 on that game? I would say the short answer is yes. I think you should. It's worth every penny. But it's also not like it's not going to be a game of the year. It has no chance of becoming a game of the year. It's not even a contender. It's a perfectly decent game. It's a very good game, and it does what games used to do, which is just entertain. And it doesn't try to do more. It doesn't try to do less. But it also has added longevity with its like live service model and its multiplayer afterwards. And I haven't touched any of that yet. And that's because I'm not a fan of the combat style, to be honest. I think they're doing it fine. I just don't like that kind of combat style, and I don't like that genre. But I'm so impressed with the world building and the lore and the voice acting and the feel of the game and the weight behind the game. Like everything feels right. There hasn't been any moment where I'm like, this feels too gamey or this feels cheap or anything like that. It just feels right. And that's, for example, the Space Marines moving relatively slowly and semi clunky, but they also hit like a brick house. So you have that weight behind every hit that makes sense, and you have the movement speed to support that because heavy things don't really move fast. That's not how the world works. So that makes perfect sense. And then you have like then there's the combat, and that's the part that I'm struggling with because I just honestly wanted to go ham and go melee, but that gets punished very, at least for me, it gets punished very easily, and I don't know if that's just because I'm bad at those kind of games. Could very well be. I have the theory that the game encourages you to use ranged weapons a lot more, and then finish a combat in melee or defend yourself in melee. But it's not really designed to be a melee focused game. But even then, I think they've done a lot of good things in the mechanics. Like the game design itself is really, really nice. The game design encourages you to do what you want to do as a space marine, which is to stay in combat and kill things. You are rewarded by that. You can be healed by that. You get armor by doing that. You get armor by executing enemies, and you can do some cool snapshots here and there. So there's really a lot of good things to say about it. The combat just isn't me, so I never really wanted to play the combat. I just wanted to play through the game and experience the scenery and the atmosphere, and to see the cutscenes. All the cutscenes are completely amazing. I was surprised that the story took the turn it did. I thought it was going somewhere else, and it actually ended sooner than I thought. So I'm expecting a DLC to land here, where it will explore more of what it didn't explore. And I would buy that. I like knowing exactly what the combat is and knowing that I'm not a fan of the combat, I would still buy the DLC to get more of that world and to get more more of that game essentially, and more cutscenes and so on. Hey Joseph, good to see you. I'm doing good today. How are you? As you can see, it's a little bit different today. There's not so much game. There's more just me talking. I'm on a mini vacation, a weekend trip to somewhere else in the country. So, experiencing a lot of news, a lot of firsts today. Drove a relatively new car today for the first time. Like, I don't own a car. I haven't owned a car for. Oh, when did I own a car? I owned a car 11 years ago. I feel so good. I feel so old when I have to say I haven't owned a car for 11 years. Like, just having to say something in my life is 11 years ago just makes me feel so old. But I have to get used to it. Yeah. Do you have the same? Where it's like you feel like something is like 1 or 2 years ago, but then you realize it's 10 years or more ago, and it's like, fuck, am I really that old? And it just hits you. I've noticed it happens a lot more ever since I turned 30. I don't feel like it happened as much beforehand, but after I turned 30, it's a lot more like, shit, this happened more than 10 years ago. And it's like I feel like anybody born in the 2000, that's a little kid, right? They go in elementary school. If you're born in the 2000, you belong in elementary school, and now they're adults and they have jobs and careers and everything. And my cousin, we met their kids last weekend, and they were like, oh yeah, they're born in 2016 and 2018. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean they're born in 2016 and 2018? They're like, they're way too big to be born like so recently. Like 2018 was like 3 months ago. What are you talking about? How can they grow so big? Like 2018 was right before Corona, but Corona's like, depending on how you calculate it, it's 4 or 5 years ago. That's fucking crazy. Like, what is this midlife crisis? Like it's so crazy to think about. Corona's already 4 years ago. You haven't been on a vacation in over a decade. That's crazy, man. How come? Just don't want to spend the money on it, or just don't need it? Like, to be fair, when I ran my own IT company, I didn't have a vacation for 7 years, basically, and I was working 100-hour weeks for 7 years. It was a different time, man. And this is turning way too much into like midlife crisis. But I could work completely different hours when I was in my 20s. Now, 100-hour week is insane. I can't do it, and I won't do it. Like, that's just not where I am in my life. Just don't have the time. That's fair, completely fair. I can completely get that. I'm really happy with the Danish system. So I get 5 weeks of vacation every single year, and I get that paid vacation. So I have 5 weeks of paid vacation. So, and my employer has to honor it, of course, like that's the law. So for me and for people in Denmark, it doesn't really matter if you have the time or not. It's your employer cannot deny you the vacation, and you get a full salary meanwhile. And what's crazy is if you get sick on your vacation, then you can call in sick to work and you can get your vacation days refunded. Because if you're sick on a vacation, you didn't have a vacation, you had sick days. There are some more detailed rules about it, right? And if you're sick leading up to your vacation, they cannot force you to go on vacation because you're sick. So you can get it refunded and so on. There's a lot of great laws. Big fan. Huge fan of all of our socialist and employee friendly, like human friendly laws. I'm thinking about what other like laws like that. So I think in America, it's probably different from state to state. Everything seems to be in America. So like, please bear with me if I'm not completely right about this. It seems like a lot of places in America you can just kind of resign and then go away. It feels like it's a custom to give a 2-week notice, but it's not a requirement a lot of places, which seems crazy to me. But it also seems like a lot of employers can just fire you on the spot and be like, you don't work here anymore, go away. That seems crazy to me as well. Like, I'm like, the law we follow in Denmark, Danish law, we have 1 month of resignation time. So it is the current month plus 1. So usually you resign like at the end of a month. So you resign at the last weekday in the month, and then you have like a couple of days that you don't work, and then the next month start. So essentially it's just 1 month of like resignation time, right? But the logic is to kind of give the employer a chance to find a replacement and figure out what the fuck are they gonna do without you. And then on the other side, on the flip side, you cannot, like, if you are fired or let go or whatever, however you want to phrase it, initially you have 3 months like period, like resignation period. So if you're let go, you will still work for 3 months, and that is with full pay and full benefit and so on. But then if you have been there for longer, time is added on to your resignation time. So I don't remember the exact gates, but let's say you've been there for 1 year. Now your resignation time is no longer 3 months. Now it's 4 months. If you've been there for 3 years, now maybe it's 5 months. And I think you can go up to 6 months when you've been there long enough. So that means when you have enough seniority or seniority, yeah, I guess that could be used. It's not the word we're looking for, but we'll use it. Seniority. When you have enough seniority at a job, when you are let go, you still get 6 months of salary and benefits and so on. You still have to work in those 6 months unless your employer tells you you don't have to. But the default is you have to work. So yeah, I like that. That's really nice. We also have, when you get hired, you have like a 3-month trial period, and in that 3-month trial period, both parties can essentially just say it's not working out, not see you tomorrow, bye bye. There are some contracts that says you have to provide a 14 days notice even in that period, but I think it's more common to not have a notice period at all. Are we getting too much into Danish law and Danish employment? I don't know. I saw some recent video that Asmongold reacted to, some kind of inflation video where they're talking about McDonald's, and I love to see that Denmark is always brought up as the prime example of increasing your wages and benefits doesn't necessarily have to increase your prices. And they use McDonald's as that example. And being a former McDonald's employee myself, it's always fun to see. So I saw that, I think it said that the Danish McDonald's, like the Danish McDonald's workers got $20 hourly wage. I don't think that's true. Yeah, it's not true. Maybe it's true if you calculate all the benefits and such to make it a simpler equation, because you do get paid vacation days and so on. But the correct thing to say would be that a Danish McDonald's employee gets $15 an hour plus benefits and sick leave and like free healthcare from the government and so on, right? But it is a $15 an hour job, which is essentially the minimum wage in Denmark. And weirdly enough, there is no legal minimum wage in Denmark. You can pay people whatever you want. There are no laws or regulations about that, which is an interesting fact. We have a much lower minimum wage than America. 0. There's nothing. There's no law preventing this. But there's a lot of precedents and there's a lot of strong unions, which is gonna fuck over the employers if they offer such bad terms and so on. And that's what happened to McDonald's. I think it was in the maybe 70s, 80s, something. I don't know. When McDonald's came into Denmark initially, it caused a huge commotion because they were offering really, really bad working terms and so on. So I believe almost all Danish, like McDonald's employees, just went on strike, and a lot of other industries, I think, supported it and also went on strike. And then all of a sudden, McDonald's cannot operate in the entire country because everybody is striking. So what are you going to do? You cannot keep paying your employees this low wage because you have no employees. So you have to meet their demands if you want to earn money in that country. And that's what happens. And that is really the benefit of unions. And I understand that unions has a very bad history in America. And it seems like, I have no knowledge, no real experience, but it seems like unions are very, like it has too many prior association with the mob and things like that in America. Could just be TV shit and random internet things. I don't know, but that's just this sense I'm getting, and that is not the case at all here. I don't know of any of those instances, and I've never heard of anything like that. So maybe that's also why Americans have a worse perception of unions because they have this bad history, or maybe it's just being sold bad propaganda that seems to be true. Because, hi, wifey. Did you eat all my chocolate?
No. Do you want it?
Maybe soon. Maybe I will have some chocolate soon for dinner.
It's over here.
Yeah. Thank you, Babse. Yeah, like, yeah, what can I say? Unions. I enjoy them. We get a lot of stuff done in Denmark and Europe with them. Big fan. You should try it, America. Try it out someday. Have a union or two. See if it does make your life happier. And I've never really understood. Whenever people are talking about taxing the rich, it's rarely the rich that reacts the most. It's like the lower to middle class who wish they were rich. They're like, don't tax people who earn more than $1 million. It's like, but you earn $30,000. Why do you care? Maybe one day I'm gonna earn $1 million, and then you no tax me. No, you no tax me. I'm like, yeah, but you're not right now. So what do you care? Just tax the rich and make them pay for healthcare and other shit. No, 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 because someday I might be rich and then I don't want to pay tax. Like, and if you look at the statistics, the Nordic countries actually have per capita more billionaires than America does, even with our socialist system. I'm just saying, like, that's weird how that works, huh? Maybe you can still provide living wages and benefits and free healthcare to people and have the same chance, if not even a better chance, of becoming a billionaire. Who knew? Personally, I think it's because in America, when you try and go for something and you put your everything into it, if you fail fucking hard and you can ruin your entire life. And it might not even be your fault. Maybe you just get sick and the hospital bills crush you or whatever, like completely out of your control. And it seems like there's no like security net to catch people who falls down. So going like making your own thing and going for it is a much bigger risk. Whereas what I've seen in Denmark is that we have programs to help you. I've had funding from the government for my companies. They've helped me with advice and counseling for free. Like we have a part of the government that only focuses on helping businesses and innovation. And you can apply for grants, funds. It's relatively simple, and you can get a lot of money. Actually, I think you can get up to $200,000 in the small pots, and then you can get up to 800,000 in the bigger pots. In just the ones I know about, and they're relatively simple to apply for, at least the small one. When you go for the bigger one, you need a lot more paperwork and so on. But if your company fails and you lose everything in Denmark, you still get welfare. I think our welfare is $2,000 a month before taxes, which is not a lot, but it's perfectly decent, and it's better than nothing. And it can help you keep afloat a little bit longer. Let's go back to games. Core Keeper. I fucking love Core Keeper. And I am so lucky in Core Keeper, and I love being lucky. It is the perfect game. I have no idea how close I am to the finish of that game, if there even is something you could call a finish. But I don't know. I have 30 to 40 hours in it or so, and I think I've played it less than 2 weeks, but I really don't remember. It's such a great game. I talked about it earlier that I'm not a big fan of pixel art, but I'm not gonna avoid playing a game because of pixel art. Hey, end of it. I am vacationing in Jutland, which is essentially northern Germany. I'm very close to the German border, actually. Um, do you do you know it? Do you know Germany? Do you know the border? I really like that you can do whatever you want in Core Keeper, and there's no play style. I haven't found. I haven't played a lot of play styles. I've played a minion build. I will always play a minion build if I can, and I love that I can, and it's fun to do, and yeah, it seems really good. But I can also see a lot of other weapons and playstyles are very viable as well. And something that held me back from Factorio was just the sheer complexity of it, I think. It felt more like playing an Excel sheet uh, than playing a game. And I work with Excel sheets all day essentially, so I wanted something else where Core Keeper just feels very simple and easy to approach, and you just get this little part that you need to do, then you can automate that, then you build on slowly. So you have this step, then you get this step, then you can build this on top, then you have this, and then you get this, and then you do this, and it just expands very slowly. Whereas Factorio, it feels like, well, because you didn't do your first mine, probably you fucked up everything, so now your automation just doesn't make sense, and you need to tear it all down because you were retard at the beginning, and you need to start over. So 5 steps from Denmark. Well, yeah, it is still Denmark. In theory, it is Denmark on the map, right? But I think it is very, very arguable whether I am still in Denmark or if I am in northern Germany. Like personally, I was actually born in Jutland, but then I migrated to Denmark really quickly, and it wasn't my choice where I was born. So I'm happy to. I was happy to get to Denmark quickly. Why am I not online on Twitch? It's because I am streaming from a laptop, and I didn't want to set up like OBS and streaming software and multi-streaming and so on. I just wanted to keep it lightweight. So I'm not like I couldn't even go. My plan was actually just to go online from my phone, but I don't know. I don't know if you can see this. So it says I cannot go live. I should try creating more shorts to reach 50 subscribers and unlock live streaming. Like, what the fuck do you mean, YouTube? Like, you're also telling me I have 68 subscribers. So which one is true? Like, do I have less than 50 or do I have 68?
Yeah.
You're telling me two different things here. So I don't know. So after that, I tried to Google some things and they were like, yeah, well, this happened to me too. And then I looked it up, and some people were like, well, the first one you might have to schedule ahead of time, and then you can join it from your phone. But if you cannot just randomly go live from your phone the first time or something like that. So, yeah, we are seeing what's going to happen. I don't know. How far have you gotten in Core Keeper? You played Deadlock instead. Liking it way more than expected, right? Like, same. I also like Deadlock a lot more than I expected. I actually, initially, when I started playing Deadlock, I didn't think it was fun. Like, I wasn't really enjoying it. It was okay. Like, not the best game I've ever played. But by just playing a couple of games and getting into it more and more and having chat help and guide me and help out here and there, it's become so much fun, and I really enjoy it, and I really enjoy playing my Guinness. Uh, and I think I've gotten really good at it as well. Like, not pro level, of course, but like I'm shitting on some people, probably in low rank at the moment, but it's turning out quite well. You haven't played Core Keeper for a couple of days. Last time I managed to finally set up drills for 10 or. So are you gonna get the worm to? Are you gonna try to kill the worm around that one as well, so you can lose it again, or have you learned your lesson? I had my first good game yesterday. It was like 12-3 and some assists. Nice. What character are you playing in Deadlock? Have you found any that caught your playstyle? Yeah, the mull is quite calciumy. Okay, kunyang hepa.
Yeah, but I'm really thirsty.
Yeah, I'm drinking it. No, but I killed the worm. That was mean. 2 seconds. Is that loud?
Yeah, it's going away.
Yeah, I'm in the countryside, so there might be some countryside sounds. So you can always I think you can resummon the worm. So or maybe you can find another one. Maybe there's different bosses. Don't remember the name, but it throws daggers and applies bleed. Which one? I wonder what that is. Which one that is? Let's see if I can find a Deadlock character, daggers, and bleed. Oh, there's not enough resources online, so it just says like, here's all the characters. Exploding uppercut. I know it's not that one. You played the Grey Talon initially, as far as I remember. I think I'm gonna try that someday. Is it Haze? Is it like the female girl with like black hair and black face for some reason, and then orange clothes and such? It seems like it has like a sleep dagger, a smoke bomb, fixation, and bullet dance, but maybe I'm fixating too much on the dagger thing. What else do we have? It's not Lady Guy. I don't think it's Lash. It's probably not Mo and Thingy. It's not Paradox. Pocket? No. It's not Seven. He's too cool. Is it Shiv? It must be Shiv. It's some dude with beard here. Sounds like the elvish looking guy. Serrated knives. Throw a knife that damages and slows an enemy. Each additional hit adds a stack and refreshes the debuff duration, causing the damage to increase per stack. Shift, yeah. And then you have slice and dice, perform a dash forward, damaging enemies along the path. Ultimate unlock. While rage is full, and Echo of Shift retraces the dash path after a short delay, damaging enemies again. Jesus. I can't talk today. I don't know what's going on. And bloodletting, take only a portion of incoming damage immediately and defer the rest to be taken over time. That's quite nice. Activate to leap towards an enemy hero and instantly kill them if their health is below the kill threshold. Otherwise, deal 200 damage to them. That sounds really good, bro. Like, it sounds like a hero or character, whatever, that you can kill steal a lot with. Is that what you've been doing? Have you just been sitting in the bushes waiting to use killing blow? It reminds me of Isn't it Rengar players in League of Legends? League of Legends, that was a bit too Korean.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell? You became Korean.
Oh, my wife is laughing at me because of my Korean pronunciation. Oh, a League of Legends. God damn it. I go Korea.
Before that, I really recognize your European accent or Danish accent.
Yeah. I think my accent is all over the place today just because I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
It's yeah. Rengar, League of Legends. Come on here. And then what is his ultimate? His ultimate Thrill of the Hunt. Isn't that that's a killing? He can leap to the tracked enemy without being in a bush, reducing the armor. Yeah, okay. I know. I feel like he's the one people usually kill steal with. I really like it. Yeah, he was fun. He was one of my favorite characters. Of course, you can ask me what I'm doing in Germany and how long I'm staying. I am on a mini vacation with my wife and my mom, just for the weekend. Then, luckily, we will go back to Denmark. But yeah, just out trying to get some vacation in before the summer ends completely. And we're really lucky with the weather. It is still perfectly decent. Let me see if I can find the weather app. So we've had 22 degrees today. Tomorrow we will have 21, and then Sunday we will have 20. And then should be back home Monday to do some core keeper or something. It is very nice, and we went to this really nice castle today, with a lot of, I don't know, a lot of plants. My mom fucking loved plants, so of course we had to see them. I'm sorry for the background noise. If you guys are hearing that, it must be very annoying. Let me mute. I don't know, a lot of tractors or something are driving around out here in the countryside. So we went to this castle today. Um, Let me see if I can find anything. But it has a lot of flowers, and like it has some gardens that is, I don't know if I want to say well known, right? But yeah, and it has a maze. But then it also has some like some veteran cars. Oh, you can't hear anything. Okay, the next time I won't unmute. Then just let me know if it gets annoying. I will share the screen. I think I'm just okay. I will try to share the screen, and it will be annoying initially, so I'm sorry about that. But I only have one screen, and this is the best I can do. So hopefully you'll bear with it. Okay. So this is the castle. Let's see if we can get this one in a bigger image. This is not the castle, is it?
I can see anything.
Oh, it actually is. It just looks so different, like this. So there's the castle, and there's like a little gatehouse or whatever. The thing is, we came from this way, so we didn't really see this part that much. So this part is confusing me, and this part is also confusing me a little bit, because it was off limit, and so was this road. But you have these gardens down here. There was like thematized gardens, And the same thing over here. It looks a little bit different today. And then you had something really nice down here. And then this one was like a historical museum for cars and such. Let's see if I go into the website. There must be a lot. I just ignore it. Oh, is the website actually English? Okay, then don't ignore the Danish. Good to know. I wonder if they have like a overview map. Do they have? So they have a lot of classic cars, for example. Okay, I don't think this is as good. So they no, that's not the maze. So they have these rooms inside the castle you can go and see, and they're all very nicely decorated. It was really fun seeing that. I'm not sure about. It says it is, but it's not how it looked today. They keep updating it and so on. Yes. Trying to find the maze. Yeah, here we go. They have this hedgerow maze, whatever it's called, which was kind of fun. And then they have these veteran museum, like old cars and such. So if you like cars, I don't like cars, but if you do, then I think there's a lot of cool things here for you to see. And it's all very nicely maintained and very well kept, and they had so many nice things, and they had like weird horse carriages and so on. It was very, very nice. Yeah, it was quite a nice time. Oh, I'm gonna stop the sharing. It is, and that is just one of the smaller, like poor castles. That's not the big fancy ones we have. We have, I think we have a lot of really nice castles and places to go in Denmark, and that's also why I really like being a tourist in my own country. I never appreciated it when I was younger, and it was always like, oh, why do we always vacation in Denmark? I want to go outside. Let's fly to another country. We never did. I was never on any plane trip with my parents. The very first time I went like on a plane outside of Denmark, that was during my high school years, and I paid for it myself. And it was like a week in Edinburgh. To be honest, it was a waste of fucking money because I didn't appreciate the city at all, and I didn't go and see a lot of things. We mostly just went to get shit-faced drunk, and just drank every single night. And if we weren't drinking and the teachers wasn't forcing us to go places, we would just stay inside our rooms and watch StarCraft 2 tournaments. So, but oh, I like the city. Edinburgh was a nice city, and it has some cool things. And then besides that, I've only been on plane trips twice, and thrice, 3 times. 2 of them were Korea, and 1 of them were Georgia. And that's it. I haven't really gone traveling a lot, and I don't vacation a lot. So this is very much like a new experience, and yeah, it's fun. And we're kind of practicing because I think next year my wife's family is planning to come here to visit us, and then we have to show them around, and we have to teach them how we do in the West. No, we just have to show them Denmark and feed them some good food, and show them some cool sights. The like as a Dane, I'm very used to my country just being flat. Like we have a mountain that we call the Heaven Mountain, and we call it the Heaven Mountain because it is so tall that you can essentially touch the heaven, right? Like that is how incredible this mountain is. It is 148 meters above sea level, and that we say is our tallest point, but it's not. We have a taller mountain, like I don't know, relatively close. That is 152 meters tall or something like that, and that is the tallest point in Denmark. And besides that, it's just almost all flat, like almost no hills, definitely no mountains, and all of that. And to me, that's just how the world is. Like my world has always been flat, but it's really interesting to see foreigners come here and are like, "Oh, you can see so far. Everything is just so flat. What's going on? There's no mountain blocking anything. You can just see forever." I'm like, "Yeah." What do you mean? That is low even on Finland standards. I actually expected Finland to have mountains because don't you guys ski? Like, what is the tallest mountain in Finland? Tallest mountain in Finland. 1,324 meters. That's a bit taller. Let me see if I can find Himmelbjerget. So the Heaven Mountain is so tall that we even built a structure on top of it. So it's quite crazy. I'm trying to see if I can get a good picture of it. I want a picture that also shows like the enormity of this mountain. I think this one does it okay. And then either you can just imagine it's the world's tallest tower, or it is just not a very big hill. I'll try to share again. We'll go in infinity mode for a couple of seconds. Bear with it, guys. So we have this. So you can see the scale of the mountain, like all 148 meters of glory. And then to make it even taller, we built this magnificent tower on top. And I think from a distance, you can even see how amazing it is and how awe-inspiring it is. And you can definitely see how the people in the Viking Age really saw this as the mountain to the gods, and where you would really go to commune with the gods and to be as close to them as possible. It is the closest point you can ever get to the heaven. It is really an awe-inspiring natural phenomenon. There's nothing as what do I want to say, God inspiring as this. Imagine going up on this tower and like praising Odin or Thor and making a sacrifice, ritual sacrifice or something, and then go rate the English and bring home some Christian gold. Beautiful, absolute perfection. I don't think anything could beat that. Finland is very uneven because of the Ice Age, a lot of ridges and hills and such. Fair enough. Yeah, I think the Ice Age had the opposite effect on Denmark, just flatten everything out. Like kneading a dough, like just flatten it out, roll it a little bit more and flatten it out. But to be honest, I'm also really happy we don't have mountains, because when I did go to Korea, we drove up some mountains, and those roads are snaky as shit. Like they have so many turns, and they're so uncomfortable to drive on. I can hear my wife laughing in the background at me because of this. They're so uncomfortable. I got car sick driving on those roads because there's so many turns. Like it took forever, and it just kept turning. And I told my wife I was getting sick. Could you please turn, like, slow down? And then she slowed down, and then we just have like 100 Koreans behind us honking horns because we were going too slow. I'm like, I don't care. And like, I'm gonna throw up if we go any faster. They'll just have to wait. Like, that's just life. They're not gonna die today because they got on the mountain 5 minutes later than planned. Like, it'll be cool. We're going to a Buddhist temple. This is just part of the. This is part of the ritual. They need this. This is good for them. Yeah. Now, like, because I did this, I was reminded that I find it really funny when my wife tries to write out Korean, no, not Korean, Chinese characters in the air, and she does it to her friends, and she's like, "Yeah, this character." And like, will it ever end? Like, how? Like, how are people supposed to go? It keeps going forever. Like, like, like it feels like you're writing a novel, but it's just one single character. Like, use simplified Chinese or something instead. Jesus Christ! Like, I don't know what's going on, but it always takes like 5 minutes to air draw one Chinese character, and then her friend is like, "Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I know that." How? How did you know that? I can barely guess it if you just write an A or something. I'm like, what? What is that? Why are you drawing a triangle? What is a triangle supposed to mean? And they just draw the most fucking complex characters. And I'm like, oh yeah, that one, yeah, that means gate. But if you do this, then it means gate with a cat. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is this craziness? And why do we have a character for that? I don't think they do, but just as an example. It's so fucking good. I love it, and I love teasing my wife with it. But yeah, it's so easy to tease my wife because I can just look at her in a certain way, and then she's gonna be like, "Why? Like, what's wrong? What did I do?" Like, you didn't do anything. What did I do that made you that insecure? You looked at me that way. Like, what way? I don't even know. Uh, it's I don't know. It's so amazing.
Because you're so good at it.
She says, or maybe I'm so good at it. I'm good at teasing her, and yeah, maybe. I do think that's like one of my special abilities is that I know enough about a lot of things, so I know what to say to annoy people, and I and I know exactly, like, I'm usually quite good at tuning into the pressure point and like, okay, this annoys them, and then just keep pushing it uh, until they break. But always do it in kind of like a polite and good manner, and never be rude or anything about it. Just like, and my wife is saying that's so much more annoying. Uh, Why is that annoying, honey?
Because like I cannot get really loud.
She says it's annoying because she cannot get really mad because it's so polite. Uh, oh yeah, should we look at some local delicacies. Let me just find it. So a thing, I don't know how much you know about Danish food, but like I think like very traditionally we are very potato, meat, and gravy. Like that is the trifecta of Danish food.
Sounds like Tyskland.
And if we just have potato, gravy, and meat, that's a complete meal, and you can eat that every single day essentially. But Jutland is a little bit more traditional, a little bit more conservative, and a little bit more countryside, I think. Um, so the local delicacies shows this. So, for example, one of the local delicacies is a burger with gravy on top, like just poured over and drowned in it. Let me find a picture of that. I think here we have a good picture. And this is just okay. I was gonna say this is just normal food here. I don't think it's that normal, but so you have like a Danish style burger, and then you just pour over like brown gravy, good old gravy, all over it, and then does this even exist in English? It's like a fried onions essentially on top of it, and you can see like there are plenty of these cases, and this is
Oh my god.
this is just how it is, guys. Like if you don't want your burger to have gravy on it, then don't come to Jutland. Essentially, that is. I make it sound more common than it is. I make it sound like every single burger over here has it, but it really doesn't. But a lot of it does. Let's see. Perle. I think this is it. Havns Perle. So I'm just gonna show you a restaurant so you can see I'm not bullshitting you guys. So you can see this is the front page. We just entered this web page, right? And the first picture they showed us was that burger with gravy on. Let's see if they have pictures in the menu. And again, this is the top picture in the menu. It is just that burger with gravy on. I know it's a bit hard to see because of the white and so on, but you get the essence of it, right? It is real food. They're crazy about it. It tastes perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I've had it a couple of times. It is not the healthiest meal, if you can believe that, but it does contain everything a good Dane need, and it is not something you consume with your hands. It is good winter food. Good food for winter. And we have this sauce, a dressing called remoulade. Let me find that. Which is essentially, I believe it's mayo with pickles. And that is just the nectar of the gods over here. So you can see this delicious yellow thing. To be fair, it does taste quite nice. I'm not sure if it's an acquired taste. I think my wife liked it immediately, didn't you?
Yeah, it's similar with tartar sauce.
It's similar with tartar sauce?
Mm.
Okay, I've never had that. But yeah, my wife liked it immediately. And then you have like a more of a homemade style, and you can get different kind of chopped roughness. So I think this is like the normal basic one that you would buy. But then if we do like, let's call it a homemade. Oh, that was misspelled. Then you can have like a, yeah, it is the same picture, but you essentially have a rougher chop of it, and it can taste more like real food and not as processed. That's really nice as well. And that is being eaten on everything fried, essentially. It's being eaten on like fried fish fillet and fried chicken, and on burgers, of course, and on fries, obviously. Um, just good old fried food with some remoulade. Um, yeah, I think, and therefore I am. No, I think that's it for today. I will go join my wife and my mom in the living room, eat some chocolate, chill out, and then I will crash really, really hard very soon. I I woke up at 3 in the morning, if you want to call that morning. So I haven't had a lot of sleep tonight. I just couldn't sleep more than 2, 3 a.m. So really, really fucking exhausted. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I will probably talk more about Core Keeper tomorrow, give that a review, and see if I can get off on any random tangents like today. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it, guys. Hope to see you again tomorrow, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Boy.